Coming up in this Brightline construction update. This update looks at the progress on all of the bridges currently under construction on the project. I'll start in South Florida at the Loxahatchee River Drawbridge in Jupiter. Since my last visit when the new bascule was installed, work is focused on getting the new pilings in place and piers completed in advance of the new girders being installed. In the staging yard to the north of the bridge, 2 of the new bridge girders are assembled and ready to be moved to the bridge and installed. They were installed about 2 weeks after I filmed this. The new bascule is now in service and regular access for boaters has been restored. There are currently 4 cranes in use here, between the temporary work trestle and on the fleet of barges. Here's a closer look at the new piers. The future span in this section will have increased clearance underneath, so more boaters will be able to pass under when the bascule is closed for trains. More than 75% of the boats that have to pass this bridge will be able to pass under this new span. As the old spans are removed, the old piers will also be removed. Crews will replace all of the spans on the existing main line before shifting work to the new second half. The first 2 spans were installed while the bascule was being replaced. When complete, this will be a fully functional double-track bridge. I'll now move to the north end of the project to look at the other 5 bridges still under construction. I'll cover the Eau Gallie River, Crane Creek, Turkey Creek, Sebastian River, and North Canal. I'll start at North Canal, just north of Vero Beach. This is my first and likely only look at this bridge due to how fast it has progressed. Work began in July and should be nearing completion if not completely finished by the time this video comes out. This bridge is made up of 4 short spans. This is not a navigable waterway, so clearance and channels were not an issue. Crews were in the process of installing the beams and built-in deck. This will be a ballasted deck bridge with regular track built across it. The old bridge here is new enough and in good enough condition that it does not need to be replaced. Here's the last piece of the bridge ready to be installed. It even has the brackets for the future maintenance walkway installed. In the distance, past the 53rd Street crossing, is where the existing Gifford siding begins. It will be incorporated into the new second main line. By the time this video is released, this bridge could very well be complete, and the site in the process of being demobilized. Here's a quick look at the right-of-way to the north of the bridge, where the sub-ballast is complete and ready for rail to be laid out and tie set into place. The next crossing is for the Hawk's Nest Golf Course, and ties are set north of it. Next we'll move to the Sebastian River Bridge. Over the past few months, work here has been focused on demolishing the old bridge and installing the pilings for the second half of the new bridge. Only a few piers worth of pilings are left to install toward the northern end of the bridge. Farther to the south, the bent caps are in various stages of completion, with the southernmost ones complete. Beams for the southernmost span were installed while a crane was based on the bank. That crane has since been relocated to the other end of the bridge on the temporary trestle. Only 4 of the old spans remain, as they are being repurposed for the templates used to guide the installation of the pilings. Here's a straight down look at the bridge flying south. On the temporary trestle, 2 of the old piers are in the process of being demolished and prepared to be taken away for scrapping. Here are 2 of the old spans also being demolished. One of the new pilings is also laying on the trestle, ready for installation. You can see 6 of the new pilings still in the template here. This frame is used to guide the battered angled pilings. While not technically required for the overall structural integrity of the new bridge, the angled pilings are to help with some of the forces caused when trains are braking or accelerating across the bridge. Here, a bend cap had been formed with rebar and is ready for the concrete to be poured. The old concrete pedestals will be removed once the rest of the old bridge is demolished. Here's an overview of the full bridge looking west. And now looking east. Next up is Turkey Creek and Palm Bay. Since the first half of the new bridge was put into service in June, work here has been focused on demolishing the old bridge and removing the old piers. The old piers here were designed differently from the other bridges and required more effort to get removed. The template has been installed in preparation for the first pilings of the second half of the bridge to be installed. Work is ongoing to prepare each abutment for the new beams. And here's a closer look at the pile template. We'll now move up to Crane Creek in Melbourne. We'll start with a quick look from May that I never posted before moving on to a more current update. At that time, crews were preparing the second span that will cross Melbourne Avenue for the Western Main Line. The new piers were beginning to be installed. The southern piers were beginning to have their bend caps formed. The old bridge was well underway of being demolished. The northernmost span had been installed as well. The reason the north end of the bridge was farther along was so that Melbourne Avenue could be reopened as soon as possible under it. As soon as that new span was installed, the crane would be disassembled and removed. Now moving forward to August 15th. The old bridge was almost completely demolished, and all the pile driving was complete. The metal structure from several of the old piers had been removed and scrapped. Once all of them are removed, another crew will come in to remove the old concrete pedestals they had been on down to the mud line. These are the last two spans that needed to be removed from the old bridge. The new beams for the rest of the structure should begin being installed soon. Melbourne Avenue was reopened just before the 4th of July. Depot Drive next to the tracks remains closed for the time being. Melbourne Avenue was repaved to fix any of the damage that occurred during the construction activities. We'll finish at the Eau Gallie River. Sarno Road, north of the bridge, has been reopened after being under construction the last time I was here. The second half of the new bridge here was in the pile driving phase of the work. A crew was actively driving pilings while I was flying. To help speed up the progress here, a second crane was brought in. It was being used to unload a template that had just been delivered. Crews were taking advantage of the old structure here to support the pile driving template. Demolition will continue as more of the pilings are finished. Here's a close-up look at the pile driving. They've resumed the pounding here. You can see the puffs of smoke as the pile is being driven down. Pilings still need to be installed for 2 more piers. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Also check out my social media pages.